Good evening and welcome to our crafting this evening. It is Thursday the 5th of October 2023. My name is Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire here in the UK. Good evening to you. I hope you are having a good week. I've just realised I've had a spelling mistake on my on my notification, so apologies for that. I'll try and go back and change that. Good evening to you, Carol. Thank you for joining us. So this week we have been using the Joy of Noel stamp set for coffee and card and as our stamp set of the week. We've been using both this one and this in coffee and card, and I demonstrated this first card using the Noel and this lovely sort of rounded element, which obviously is perfect for a wreath. Hi Zana, and hi Catherine. Catherine's watching on silent, that is fine. So let me show you. So these were the cards. This is the card that I demonstrated on Monday. Seems a long time ago. Stamping the Noel in the middle and then just loosely stamping that wreath element, if you like, around the edge and colouring in with our blends alcohol markers, just using traditional red and green. And then the other card I created is this one. I've also used the Trio Corner Punch, it's called the Very Best Trio Punch, and stamped that element. This one here is on the left hand side corner with the Happy Christmas from the Merry and Bright stamp set stamped on the right hand side and added a little bow. And then this one, as you can see, was stamped centrally and I popped the Happy Christmas on the top and a little ribbon to finish it off. And one of these, I've decorated the inside and also the envelope. So I thought what I'd do is something similar, but I want to show you how to make a circular card, or you can turn this into a Christmas ornament, whichever you prefer. And our tool for doing this in this occasion is our Deckled Circles dies, but if you have any large circle dies, you could also do this with different shapes as well, but any nested dies work particularly well. Hi Annabelle. And this is fantastic because it's got a whole stack of circles from small right the way up to this one, which is just under 6 inches wide, 15 centimeters diameter. And this is perfect obviously for layering, for creating circle elements, but also for creating ornaments and circle cards. Let me just take that one out. So I've cut this one already. This is a smaller size obviously than that one. And what I've done is I've taken a piece of card, folded it in half. So I've actually taken an A4 sheet, folded it into A5, and then let's get the same. It might be easier to show you with the same or smaller die. Bear with me. That's just slightly smaller, but that will do perfectly. So all I did was I put my card onto my die cutting machine, placed my die, but placed it, hi Fran, just off to the left. If I put that underneath, oh yes, just about see that, just off to the left of the fold line, and then ran that through the die cutting machine. And what that does obviously is it cuts it up to the point of the fold, and then you've got basically a circular card, and they stand really well. You can either have the fold at the side like that, you can also have it at the top. Okay. The alternative option is just to die cut a straight piece of card, which is this one, which is slightly smaller, and create an ornament from that. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to put them together and then we'll decide whether we're going to have a card or an ornament. The other thing I have done, which would work for both of these, is I've cut some of our lovely Gold Glimmer paper, and this is self-adhesive. So it's got its backing already on there, and all you've got to do is peel away the edge of the backing. It helps if you've got nails, really. That'll teach me to cut my nails, won't it? Let me see if I can get that off. There we go. So it's got a self-adhesive backing, so all you need to do is peel that off, and that then is self-adhesive. So if I'm doing an ornament, that allows me to stick that around the outside. I could also stick it around the edge of this card here. It's actually the same size. So you could do that. So I've cut 2 of those in preparation. So I'm going to design 2 pieces and then we'll decide whether to make an ornament or a card. These are really based on these 2 here, but you could also use some patterned paper. Now this set has some coordinating papers that go with it, so I'll just show you these. This is one side, so I'll flip it over and show you the other. So you've got these beautiful berries. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, bring it up to the screen a little bit. We've got a gingham in red, a gingham in green, that's shaded spruce. We've then got the leaves on their own, and that's really, really pretty. Bring it up to the screen a little bit more. And then we've got a combination of small poinsettias and the leaves, and some pine cones and some white poinsettias in there. There's a little bit of holly, yep, there's a few holly leaves tucked in as well, but a nice sort of loose watercolour. And then we have this one, which is almost like a smaller variation, but more holly leaves and more like the stamp set. So what you could do is use that as a backing, or if you are making an ornament, you could have your design on the front and cut this out to fit on the back. So I think these papers are just so pretty, and you get 2 sheets each of the 6 different designs. Okay, let's just stamp this up fairly quickly. Oh, there's an Easter rabbit there. So let's do our Noel first, and I'm just using 2 colours here, real red and shaded spruce. Obviously you could use any red and green that you've got at home. Old olive works particularly well, shaded spruce, if you've got the old evening evergreen, all of those would work. So I'm going to put on here Noel in the centre, well, roughly in the centre, she says, like that. Okay, and then for the other one, I'm actually going to stamp this large spray, but you could put a to and a from on there. So if you wanted to give it as an ornament or as a gift, you could put to, from, or the date on the other side. I'm just going to stamp this as it is. There we go. And the nice thing, as you know, about stamping on the circles, it doesn't really matter where you stamp it, because you can just turn the circle round to get it straight. Okay, there we are. So there's that lovely crisp image, like so. And then I'm going to stamp around the edge of this one with this other. So this is almost the same as I did on Monday, so forgive me if you saw that live. Let me take my glasses off, and I'm just going to put this in around the edge. You could do a very formal wreath if you wanted to, but I quite like this just being apart, like so. And I'm keeping the stamp the same and turning this round, because then it makes it nice and even, and you're not straining. If you leave it like so and turn this round, you're just using different muscles in your hand, or you're using more of your left hand if you're right-handed, and it can just come out a little bit uneven. So wherever possible, turn the paper, not your stamp. Right, I'm going to colour these in a second, and what I am going to add is I'm going to do Happy Christmas to You and Yours, I think. So we've got Merry and Happy, whichever you prefer. So there's Happy, there's Christmas. So don't worry that these are stained, it's the red that stains them, but it doesn't affect their ability to stamp. And it actually is quite useful, because if you drop one on the floor, you've got a better chance of finding it if it's stained. Okay, let's grab a block. So what I'm going to do is just stamp these, and then I'm going to cut them out. So I think what I'm going to do is Happy in red. I didn't clean the stamp first, hopefully it's clean enough. Yes, so. And then Christmas in green. Just so I've got, oops, a bit of a contrast. Didn't press that very hard on my block. So I hope everybody is well and you're having a good week. Claire, I hope you're feeling better. Claire's been quite poorly. Yes, that didn't work very well, did it? Okay, let's ink it up again. And let's put it on this one here. Okay, just give it a little bit more pressure, that's better. And then I've got to you and yours. You could also, I might cut this down and have just to you. Happy Christmas to you. That would also work. Okay, so that is all my stamping. So I can put my ink pads away for the moment. There we go. So let's put those up out of the way there. I've got a little bit of bling at the ready. So I'm just very quickly going to colour these in. And I've got some shaded spruce and real red pens. So I'm just going to keep it the same sort of set of colours. Got real red, light and dark. Just going to the berries first quickly. They're very small on this one. So literally just a little circle like that is all I'm doing, and I'm almost certainly bound to miss one, so if you see I've missed one, do shout out and let me know. And I'm scribble colouring, which means I'm not going into detail, I'm not going right to the edges, just literally scribbling in each one. And because this is quite a loose design, you know, not all of the lines join up, things like that, then it works particularly well. So those are my smaller little berries. These are the larger ones. And I like to leave a little bit, I think that was I think it was a berry. I like to leave a little bit of white at the top. So that it looks like the light is catching it slightly. So this definitely is not intended as a colouring class in the slightest. Now if you haven't got the Deckled Circles that I'm using here, if you've got our set of circle dies, they would work. Or if you've got large enough punches, you could also get a similar effect. I'm just going to put a darker bit on the side. Like so, and I'll lift up to the screen because I know you can't really see this detail. Go. Okay, so that's the red berries all done. Okay, so I'm just very quickly going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with the dark. So this is shaded spruce, dark and light. I've had these since September 2018. So when we first brought them out, I always used to label them up because people used to ask me, how long do the blend pens last? Well, of course it's like anything. How long is a piece of string? It's it depends how often you use them, how much you're using them. You know, if you're laying down a lot of colour, obviously they're not going to last. I have quite a few sets that are the original ones still. You can't refill them. We don't have refills for these particular pens. We do have for our ink pads and everything. Just wanted that. Now you could do different colours for your leaves, of course. I'm just keeping it the same for speed really, so you don't have to sit here all night long watching me colour in. Okay, so again, colouring in, not going right to the edges, just leaving a little bit of white space. Obviously, if you love colouring in, you can be a lot more accurate, you can do a lot more shading, you can have variegated holly leaves. You could also use watercolour pencils or any other alcohol markers you have. You could use a water painter and inks or ink refills. You might need to use a watercolour card though, so it doesn't dampen the card too much. Okay, nearly done with this one. As I said, you could, if you're doing an ornament, you could do one side stamped, one side plain. There we go. That will do. So there's our finished panel there. Hi Sandra. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're keeping well. Haven't seen you for a little while. I know you're busy. So here we go with the dark, and again I'm just going to scribble this in. Now this is quite a small element, so there is a lot of leaves. There are a lot of leaves, I should say, but they are quite small. What I'm going to do is take that out of the way, and you'll see a little bit better. Now I put Noel in the middle, but you could put a Christmas sentiment. You could put a single holly, if you've got some holly leaf ornaments or anything like that, or the gold holly leaves that we had. You could use those as well. So just really quickly colouring this in. So just going where the veins of the leaf are with the darker colour. This is Shaded Spruce. Okay, this is the light one. And again, just going to blend that in. Thank you for the hearts. Whoever's being kind enough to send hearts, thank you. And if you've joined us since the beginning, but you're not a friend of mine on Facebook directly, then do say hi. It only shows me the people that are A, signed in, or B, in my friends list. Although that shouldn't be the case because I'm actually posting from my page. Who knows? Okay, I'm just quickly doing those leaves. As I said, this is definitely not a colouring tutorial. Go. That. Nearly there, folks. So I've got some bling I can add. I can also use our Wink of Stella glitter pen. That's very effective, especially on the holly berries. And everybody seemed to enjoy the coffee and card design this week. Okay. That will do. If I missed an odd one, it's not the end of the world. Colouring in is therapeutic, you're quite right. But I'm not ever sure how therapeutic it is for people to watch me colouring in. Okay, so let's cut this out. So I've got Christmas, and I'm just doing this with my scissors. There's no dies for this, that you don't need to. You could cut this if you've got a small trimmer. You could definitely cut that on your trimmer if you're not very good at straight lines, but it's really not critical. Now you can choose to leave a white edge around it, or you could trim the white edge off. If I was doing just 2U, then I might trim the whole thing down and just have a solid edge. Thank you, Carol. She likes my white bits on the berries. Let's get that bit. So I've got Big Christmas to you and yours. There we go. Okay, so if I'm doing an ornament, I'm going to have this on one side and this on the other. Happy Christmas to you and yours. Now I could have this at an angle actually, like so. Or I could have that at an angle and that straight. Too many options. Or I could just have Happy Christmas, like so. Any suggestions? I'm going to put a little bit of bling on. Let me know what you think. Happy Christmas feels right for me. Just going to put a few of these little red rhinestones on in preparation. So odd numbers, there's that one down there. Okay, so there's my Noel. What do we think? Just Happy Christmas? And straight or at an angle? You could do it like that. Let's have a look. Looked like a tree, it did rather, didn't it? In the middle. Like so. Straight or an angle, I can't quite decide. How bad is that? Just looking for my strips of dimensionals. Okay, angle was good. Okay, so I'm going to use strips of dimensionals for the backs of these just to give them some height. Now I could have also stamped Noel and cut that out and put that on top. That would be another option as well, so that that stands out. Hi Brenda. Lovely to have you join us. I hope you're doing okay. Hope you're feeling all right. Thank you, Brenda. I nearly said Happy Christmas to you then. Good evening is what I should have said. So let's just get this positioning right. So, although it's really not critical, is it? It's only showing you a sample of what you can do with it, so. I'm going to go with that. That will do. Oh, excellent, Brenda. I'm really pleased to hear that. Okay, happy. Just going to leave a little gap in between. You could stack them up quite closely. You could put Happy Christmas together if you wanted to. There we go. That will do. And let's add a little bit of bling to this. Okay. And there. Alright, so we've got two choices. I've got a card here that I cut with the Deckled Circles that opens either that way or on the side. So you could easily do a fun circular card like that. You could add in this layer that I've already pre-cut of the gold. So that'd be quite an impressive Christmas card, wouldn't it, I think. Let me just bring that up so you can see it. I haven't attached any of it, but that would be a side opening circular card. So it opens like that, and you could actually have that on the inside, couldn't you? Like so. So if you wanted to do a card, as I said before, just fold a card in half, or just the size that you need, fold it in half, and then place the die so that it runs over the edge. Okay. so that that bit is not cut by the die, otherwise you'll just get 2 circles. Okay, alternatively we can make an ornament by attaching these 2 on either side and then placing this on one side and this on the other. So I think that's what I'm going to do, unless anybody wants me just to make a card. It's going to be the same really, isn't it, either way. So let's first of all attach these there together. So I've cut the gold self-adhesive sheet, and this just means I don't have to mess around with glue. With a large, I've missed the middle one out and then the next one down, and then this red card I've cut with the size in between, so that it's going to be nicely sandwiched between the 2. You could have a different piece on the back, so if you wanted to you could have a red and a green, or you could cut some other designer series paper out. So I'm just thinking about the ribbon, and I think what I'm going to do is probably just punch a hole. Let's see where this is going to come. I could punch a hole just through there, couldn't I think. The alternative, I'm thinking, is sandwiching the ribbon in there. That's what's going through my mind. Because I've got some real red ribbon. Should we try that? I think it would work. Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's put this, keep these to one side and safe, and peel the backing off here. So if you haven't got self-adhesive sheets and you've just got gold or silver or anything else, foil, then just apply some glue just very carefully, or cut it out with a self-adhesive sheet. Now this deckled edge is uneven. What I did was I actually cut one piece of card that way and one piece of card that way with the dies attached together, so it will have a perfect match because this has got a white backing. But having said that, I don't think it's really going to matter. So what I'm thinking is, let's position this on here. I'm going to give myself a reasonable length of ribbon, because I can always shorten it at the top or cut it and shorten it. So I'm just going to put this on like that and that. Okay, and I am going to add a tiny bit of glue onto there, which was right in front of me. You could also use a glue dot, and you could also use a thinner ribbon. I'm just thinking this one through. Okay, what was she going to do? So I don't have to cut it, because I'm going to do that. I'm just watching that glue. Bit of glue on here, so that I haven't got a thick layer between the card. So this is our slightly smaller layer going on top, and as long as it covers the central hole, you're fine. Just turn it over. Yep, that's fine. Okay, now I'm going to trim this off because I don't want the excess glue showing. Okay, so just going to fold that round like that. Okay, and I've got glue on there as I already had it on the ribbon, and then this is going to be peeled off and put on top, so it should be sandwiched quite nicely. This is the theory. So this Joy of Noel is our stamp set of the week. So if you purchase our stamp set of the week that I'm offering it, then you'll get all of these components. So you'll get these pieces die cut. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this round. Oh, I need to cut that, don't I? I didn't think that one through quite. Okay, so this has just got to stay on that white piece. I know this is going to cover up that little bit of glue, but I can also use my glue remover to take it off if there's any left over. So there is an exact match for this. Having said that, I'm not actually going to worry about it, because we could be here all night lining that up. But what you could do when you cut it is just mark a position and then mark it on the other side when you cut them. Okay, so I'm not pushing this down until I can see it's in place. There we go. Okay, that worked, and it hangs. It's like a medal, isn't it? Alright, I can breathe a sigh of relief now. That actually worked. So I had it in my head, but you know, sometimes it doesn't always, doesn't always come together. So, yes, tuck that ribbon in, but only have it as deep as that element is there. So you haven't got to trim that off. Put one on one side, one on the other, so you haven't got the double thickness ribbon in the same place. Okay, now all we're going to do is pop our designs on, and it really doesn't matter, but I do want it to hang straight, which it seems to, and I could put these on dimensionals or flat. I think I'm going to put them flat because I've got dimensionals here. Oh, I don't know actually. Let's lift one up and see. Okay, you can see I used the back of another piece there. Whoops a daisy. Waste not, want not, as my mum would have said. Okay, so I'm just using these strips. So we sell these strips in packs, and often you find them in the kits as well. I think this comes from the Festive Tags kit. And we actually have 2 new kits that have just come out. I have to say that I've ordered both, so you'll be seeing those shortly. There's like an Advent kit, and then there's a Christmas tree kit for making Christmas cards with a stamp set. That one's £20, and then the Advent kit is 18, and it creates, I think it's 25 little envelopes and little pegs, so you can hang them on your tree or on a banner if you prefer. Okay, so let's pop this one down. And obviously you can make this any size, so you know, you don't have to have this stamp set, you can make this any size to fit. So I think I'm going to put that one flat because I've got the raised elements there. So I'm going to attach that with glue. And you can make these smaller, obviously, to fit, but you could just put pattern paper. instead of the red card, although I would put card in to give it some stability. You could put pattern paper on one side, and then you could put the year, for example. People often buy a new ornament. I certainly buy a new ornament every year. So there we go. There it is finished. What do you think? Obviously you can't see it hanging. It's difficult to show you, but you get the effect. And where that little bit of glue was, you can't even see it or feel it, so I'm not worried about that. Because I didn't line this up exactly, there's a tiny little bit of white showing there, but if you've got a gold pen, I have a gold Sharpie here somewhere, you could just go over that little edge. But what I would do, if I was doing these as gifts, then I would mark the top in both cases, mark it on one side and the other, cut them out at the same time, and then you know that they're going to fit exactly. So there we are. And so the alternative is to pop it onto a card. I did have a spare one here. Got a spare one. It's a bit small really, but I could finish colouring that and put a layer behind it, or put some of that lovely designer paper. Let me grab this one. This one, you could cut that out to fit and then put that on top. Might be a little bit busy maybe. Maybe that would be a good combination. On there, onto your card, and then you've got an unusual card. And what I would do is I would just put that into a square envelope. So just measure this distance here, add a little bit, and put it into a square envelope that size. Can't think of how else you could do it to decorate it up. Yeah, square envelope definitely. So there we go, a fun Christmas ornament. So not too bad, just over 40 minutes from scratch. Obviously, if and I did just scribble a lot of this, to be fair. But what I would do is do them in pieces. So I would do all the stamping, for example, all the colouring, all these elements, cut out all these together. And I'm thinking actually these might just be nice Christmas gifts. You could, thinking what else you could do to step this up. You could put a piece of window sheet over here if you wanted to, so that it was glossy, and you could, that would protect it as well. And obviously we can add our Winker Stella, which I didn't do on there. Let's see if I've got some here, which I have. So this is glitter pen, and you just basically brush it on. So you need to squeeze the barrel. When you get one that's new, it has a black plastic circular piece there, and what you need to do is unscrew this, take the little plastic ring out and screw it back on. It's a bit like you used to do with cartridges. And then squeeze the barrel until you see the glitter come up through the barrel here, and that's just added a little bit extra bling. If you're doing a lot of this, it will pick up some of the colour, so that will have picked up a little bit of green, tiniest amount. But just be wary of that. If you're doing green and then red, just clean it off in between, or do all the green elements first and then all the red, or vice versa. So there we go. I'm not sure that you can see the glitter on there in this light. And you could do the same on here. So there we go. So I hope you like it. As I say, it's our stamp set of the week, and that's Joy of Noel. And I've also used this lovely text from Merry and Bright, and I haven't used this exclusively for its intended purposes, which is with these lovely light bulbs. So I'm going to have a go with those. So you've got the string, and then you can stamp the light bulbs. And you've even got the little coils in the centre. So need to add that into my list of cards to make. So thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you like it. There's Noel on the front and that one on the back, but as I said, you could do a to from any combination really, and also you can change the colourway as well. So thank you. I hope you have a great evening. These are the other cards. Obviously they're the same or similar setup, but I've just changed the layout to make an ornament. Thank you for your company this evening. I will be back. Yeah, Cassie's just joined. I will be back on Monday for our next stamp set of the week, but I will hop on tomorrow to show you the papers that we're using for our class in a box for October. I'm really pleased. So there'll be another selection of papers that are non-Christmas and Christmas. So you can choose one or the other, or you can select both of those and have Christmas and non-Christmas. So you basically get 2 complete packs, and you get the second one at a discounted price. So watch out for that. Thanks, Anna, and thanks, Cassie. And so I will pop on and show you those tomorrow, and then I'll be designing the complete suite over the weekend, and then booking for a class in a box for October will open either over the weekend or Monday. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening. If you're watching this on replay or catch up, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube, then thank you for your support. Have a great morning, afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching it, and I look forward to crafting with you again real soon. Thank you so much, and bye for now.